What's up, YouTube? It's your boy again, coming back to another video on this channel. As always, I am the Rhino.
And I am empowered. Thank you all for being with us today.
Hey. But yeah, so I was actually put this on the podcast Instagram. If you want to follow the podcast Instagram, it's at Rhino and the Bet Podcast. It's literally on Instagram, or you can find us on Facebook. Again, under the name Rhino and the Bet Podcast. We have a fan page. If you're on YouTube, it's links in the description box down below. Anyway, so I put this question on Instagram asking if you make more money from your side hustle, should you quit your main job? And so far, and then the next question was, if you said yes, you should quit. When do you quit? So I'm gonna let you go first.
Well, those are great questions. I think if you can make both work, I am a big believer in multiple streams of income. I currently have multiple streams of income and I'm loving it because it allows me to have flexibility. From my personal experience, just comparing pre-COVID life to today's current, present day, I find that having multiple streams of income means that you don't have all your eggs in one basket. And that's absolutely the way to go because it allows you to have flexibility, it allows you to have mobility, and it means that if one avenue of income suddenly stops or comes to a halt or a pause or what have you, you're not left in a lurch. You still have a mode of just getting back on your feet. So you're not stuck in any way, shape, or form. And for myself, I would say if you can make both work, while still maintaining a work-life balance, I would say go for it. Keep it. For myself, that's exactly what I've done. And yeah, I'm doing a bunch of different things on any given day, but it keeps life fun and interesting. But it also means that I am not relying on just one stream of income. It means that I'm relying on a variety of skill sets that I have, which are actually benefiting me quite well. So yeah, I wouldn't say quit your 9 to 5. I would say keep everything going for as long as you can, or take that 9 to 5 and make it into a part-time if it's too much as a full-time, but never just shut down an avenue of income. That's one of the most foolish things that you could do, especially in today's world. Keep that money stream coming.
Right. So I was actually thinking the same thing. Like, if you're able to maintain sanity, I guess it's like my way of saying it.
Right.
If you're able to maintain sanity, I think you should keep both. If you're not able to maintain sanity, then my suggestion is quit the lower paying job. That's just me. But again, like what Empower said, if you can maintain a multiple jobs, if you can maintain, like I said, maintain sanity, then keep both. But here we are.
Absolutely.
So yeah, so here's my thing. It's like, what constitutes a side hustle? It's like it seems like there's hundreds upon hundreds of ideas and ways you can make money outside your standard 9 to 5 job. Like,
right.
I know you can invest in the stock market. I know you can invest in real estate and become a real estate owner, or whatever you want to call it. Refer to them. You can become I know one of my coworkers in my construction job also does real estate on the side. Like, is a licensed real estate agent, which I found really interesting. But it's like, what's good for you, what's not good for you. I guess in that answer will be, it depends on you and what you want to do. Like, if you want to go into real estate, make sure you understand what it takes to become a real estate owner, like, before you go into it, because the last thing you need to do is drop $100,000+ that you didn't have previously and then end up basically flushing it down the toilet. And so that's just me. Like, just do your research, make sure you know what you're getting into before you get into it.
Absolutely, especially putting all your eggs in that basket. I think side hustles are excellent. I think it's a great way to have that extra income, but don't put all your eggs in that basket unless you know it's a guarantee. And in today's world, there is no guarantee. So if you have to keep that side hustle long term, I
Right.
would say go for it. That can be your passion project. There's no reason why you should stop that, because one thing that I read the other day was, if you can work 8 hours for someone else, you can work 2 hours for yourself. And I could not agree more. I think that's exactly what a side hustle is. It's working on your passion project. It's investing in you. It's investing in your future, because in an ideal world, everyone has the job that they want. Everyone has the job that will benefit them forever and will tap into all their amazing skill sets. But in reality, that's just not the case. So if we
Right.
have passion projects that other people, have going on the side, I would say go for it. Make sure that they are lucrative, make sure you do your research, as Rhino said, but really just keep it going. Really just keep it going, and make sure that it makes you happy. If it makes you happy, keep on, and just keep it moving, because it just might be the thing that you wake up in the morning to do. And what more could you ask for in life?
I can ask for a lot in life. I know a lot of people will follow me when I say it, when I said that. I can ask for a lot, but I understand what you're saying though. Empire, like, um, everyone has different needs and different requirements to life, so it's kind of hard to give one general statement that it applies to every single person, and unfortunately, that's not possible. So, like I said, do what you think is right for your life and your current situation. I know 20 or at least 5+ years from now, you may regret it, you may be happy, but hey, you tried it. If you were successful, you were successful. If you didn't, here we are.
Right, right, right. No, I think that's important. But right now, I think it's really important that the audience know that even if there is no general statement to success, really, if you have an idea,
Mhm.
pursue it. If you
Right.
have a dream, pursue it. Don't just let it sit in your head for years and years and years. Because another thing that I heard the other day is that many people have $1 million ideas, but it's really about who's willing to execute it. And
Right.
this is, paraphrased quite poorly from the woman who is the CEO and founder of Shapewear, or not Shapewear, Spanx. And she
Okay.
had this idea, and everyone thought that she was crazy. They thought, no, this is not going to be successful. It is not going to work. It will not bring in that money, and you're insane. And it all started because she wanted to go to a dinner party and she wanted to wear white pants. And as the ladies of the audience know, that is very difficult to do. It's a skill set in itself. And the fact that she was able to create this passion project or a project for herself, and kind of say, this is something that might not only benefit me, but it might benefit others as well. So what if I monetize this? And lo and behold, she created a movement. Now there are so many other companies that are jumping on board and using Spanx as their platform of influence to create other products that are similar to Spanx and provide other things for comfort for women and men as well. But the fact of the matter is that she created something in which other people can work with and people can invest in and people can consume. And that's really all it's about. And she was told it was crazy. And one thing that she did say is that if people tell you it's crazy and that it can't be done, they might be threatened by you, and it just might be a great idea. So if people tell you that, take it as a compliment. And this comes from her, from the CEO of Spanx itself. So if you have an idea, if you have a side hustle that you think should be pursued and you've been sitting on it, you don't have to tell people about it. You don't have to talk about it. Just go out there and make it happen, and just watch how things change. See
Right.
how you influence people, and just sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Because it might take some hard work, some planning, execution, some money for sure. But what have you got to lose, right? If you don't take the chance, you won't know what you would have had or not had. But either way, you will grow from it and you will learn from it. So, that's
Exactamundo.
that's advice that I would give to everyone. Absolutely.
Exactamundo.
Hmm.
The thing about me is that, again, the way I knew of the woman you're talking about is through Shark Tank. I never knew what Spanx were. I'm going to be absolutely honest here.
Mm-hmm.
Never been into that fashion industry or whatever the right verbiage is.
Right, right.
And my thing is, a lot of this stuff may not apply to me. If like
Right.
me, like I don't know much about fashion. I'm not gonna bullshit nobody. I'm not that type. And so I'm not gonna come up with some fashion idea. I have no idea if it's gonna work or not. But I'm gonna run with it. But if I had the interest in like the fashion industry or something,
Exactly.
like I would play to my strengths. That's all I'm trying to say.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people are saying, "Oh, don't like do what you have to do to survive. Don't rock the boat and whatever." But I mean, people said that breaking the sound barrier is going to be impossible, but Chuck Yeager broke it.
Exactly.
So, like I said, just break the sound barrier, and then everyone else is like, "Oh yeah, we were supporting you the entire time. We had to be worried."
Exactly. No, Rhino, you're completely right. I think that's really the important thing is that if you have a vision, if you have a drive, and if you pursue it, and if you have the interest in the skill set, then go for it. Or if you need to get a team to make it happen, make it happen, right? You mentioned that you did not know about this woman until you saw it on Shark Tank. Okay, that's fine. But that's also not your arena of expertise, and that's okay. She was playing into her arena of expertise, and that is exactly why it worked, because she knows what women want. She's a woman herself, so she was using her own experience and that of her friends and family, right? So that's what you do. When you have an idea, you play into your toolbox. That's what you do, right? You are skilled in so many arenas. So some of them I'm not very skilled, so I would definitely leave those the engineering techniques or just something that you are more knowledgeable than I would leave that to you to create something that's more innovative. I could create the design, I could create the idea, but in terms of building and putting things together, you would have the know-how or more know-how than myself. And then if between us we couldn't figure it out, we would have to hire someone else or multiple someones to help us execute it. But the bottom line is that if you have an idea, you find somebody or you use yourself to make it happen, right? So if you can't do it, you use others and you work as a team, because teamwork is really the bottom line. And in the case of the woman, the CEO of Spanx, she didn't do it all on her own. She created a prototype, but who created the other ones, right? So she hired a team, she got investors, and she took it from there. And that's exactly what you need to do. And granted, not every idea needs to become a multi-million-dollar company or a business. But if it makes you happy, if it serves a purpose, if it fulfills a need, then go for it, because you might not be the only one who is experiencing this void in their life. Like they never thought, if you think about Tupperware, we didn't have Tupperware. We didn't have, I have a light next to me. We didn't have these things. People thought these things were crazy. We are currently, Rhino and I, conversing via a computer, right? Via technology. These are things that were once thought of as ludicrous. So bottom line, if you have a ludicrous idea, but if you know how to make it happen, or if you know others who can help you make it happen, make it happen. Try it. And if it does not work seamlessly the first time, find a way to smooth out the edges and try it again. J.K. Rowling got thousands of rejections before she was given a chance. They told her, no, stick to your other, your horror stories. And she didn't. She pursued her passion, her dream.
I totally forgot J.K. Rowling did horror books.
Oh yeah, she did. She did. In fact, a teacher at our elementary school, when I had her, that's how I first got to know J.K. Rowling, because she read a horror story. It was like a poetry book, but it was from J.K. Rowling herself. And that's how I was first introduced to her. I didn't know about her Harry Potter experience just then, because most people think that she's just a Harry Potter author, but that's not the case, right? So everyone has a past, everyone has history, everyone has experience. So
Right.
take that, use that. We all have those gifts. Take your gift and turn it into something new. Do not be afraid to do it. And, it's no matter what, you should never be afraid of having taken that risk, because in one way or another, it will benefit you. You will learn from it, or it'll enhance your life. In fact, it might just do both either way. So what have you got to lose?
It's like what I think it was Edison who said this. I haven't found. Yeah, it is Edison. I just googled it. He said, "I haven't failed. I just found 10,000 ways that didn't work."
Right. Exactly. Exactly. If you find 10,000 ways that don't work, you'll find the one that will work. Rhino is completely right.
Yeah.
Thomas Edison was as well, right? You have to keep trying, because each try will teach you something new. I completely agree.
Yeah.
Good on Edison, and thank you, Rhino, for bringing that to our attention.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I said before. There's people who said that breaking the sound barrier wasn't a possibility. There's no way you can go travel faster than the speed of sound.
Mm-hmm.
Years later, Chuck Yeager flew a plane and thus breaking the sound barrier.
Right.
Granted, it wasn't on his first try, but that's one of his legacies. He broke.
Mm-hmm.
He was the first human being, and as American, like I'm pro America,
Right.
and he was the first person an American to break the sound barrier. Now we go from, let's just say, San Francisco SFO International Airport to XYZ country. We're traveling 700 miles per hour. We're basically traveling right around the sound barrier, like 600 plus miles, 500 plus miles an hour. And now it's like, it's normal, I guess you can say, to travel that fast. And
Right.
then same thing with everything else. Like was it when Bill Gates started Microsoft? He was actually, by the way, for those of you who don't know, Microsoft came out first before Apple did, but I think about a year or so. But anyways, that's a different conversation. And when Microsoft started selling personal computers, as you know, as the PC, people were like, "Why do I need a PC at home? Like, I have one at work." This at the time, and the thing that came out in the 50s or 60s, that costed a lot of money to own a personal computer. That's why you've seen it at most of the PCs at work, where companies can afford it. But now it's like Sneha said, we're talking on a laptop. At least I'm talking from a laptop. I have a desktop right next, like really like 2 feet that way. Some people
Right.
have access to hundreds of computers where we can go onto Google and research how whatever transforms into something else, or whatever. So it's kind of like, it's really interesting to see how technology and everything inside, how technology changed the world essentially.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Right now I find you're pivoting the conversation in so many different directions, but let's ask you, is there anything that you would like to do if you had all the resources available to you? What exactly would you create, or what have you thought about creating? And there's no
I,
wrong answer,
yeah,
right?
of course.
So what exactly
Um,
would you do?
I'm actually I have this friend that I met, funny enough, at Santa Clara University about
Mhm.
4 or 5 years ago,
Mhm.
in mid 2010s. He and I were very similar mentality, where we
Mhm.
both love researching stuff. We both love answering certain questions from the engineering aspect. So we ended up deciding literally like 4 or 5 days ago to go do a joint research project together.
That's amazing, and there's so much that you can do with that. That's exactly the definition of it, right? You took
Yeah,
your knowledge base, you reached
yeah,
out to your community, and you created a plan, and you're about to execute it. That's
yeah,
exactly what you do when you have a passion, when you have an idea, right? We are all inventors, um, who have the capability of building and creating. And it's
mhm,
really up to us to take that next step.
right,
I can say for myself, right, that I had, the idea of leading the life that I have right now, where I not only I train teachers and I coach them, but I also work with young people and I mentor them and tutor them. And working with women as well through empowerment. And this all falls under empowerment. And it was something that I always wanted to do, but I never took the steps to do it full time. And now, through multiple streams of income, as mentioned previously, that's
Right.
exactly what I'm doing every single day. And I work when I want, how I want, and I am happier than ever. But it is because I had an idea, I pursued it, and now I'm expanding my network and spreading my value, spreading my worth, because I know my worth. And because I know my worth, every time I enter a room, albeit virtually or even in person, people know that I have the authority. People know that I have the confidence and the experience to bring a number of skill sets to the table that perhaps they don't have, and vice versa. So it's an incredible feeling, and I wish nothing but the best for Rhino and his partner, because I'm sure that they're going
Thanks.
to create and discover some incredible things going forward.
Yeah, thanks. But yeah, the reason I brought that up was because we were talking about side hustles earlier, and we were talking about like passion projects, whatever we want to call it. It's like, I know this kind of goes with it. Just because you have a degree in something from X university or X college doesn't mean you're going to go in. Doesn't mean you can't do anything else outside of that. Like if we all just say college degrees are required, Bill Gates wouldn't have started Microsoft. Mark Zuckerberg wouldn't have started Facebook. About a third of all billionaires wouldn't be billionaires. And it's kind of like technically, technically, even though Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg went through Harvard math, I think they dropped out partway through. I don't know when they dropped out, but they dropped out. They had some college experience. So
Yeah, no, you are completely right. You are completely
yeah,
right. But personally, though I do use Facebook, I will say, and I'm sure it's public knowledge by now, Facebook's Mark Zuckerberg, he had quite a bit of financial backing. So even if it did not work, his family has quite the legacy already.
yeah,
So he did have that to work with. So college wasn't exactly something that he had to do. But I will say to the audience, get some sort of certificate, get some sort of thing that says that you are the authority of what you're speaking about or what you're creating, because it really helps when you enter a room. It
right,
really helps when you enter a room, because for myself personally, right, and Rhino as well, he's about to finish his master's. um, I have my master's degree, I have my bachelor's degree, and as of recently I'm a best-selling author. So all of those things on top of my experience and the way that I conduct myself and the way that I utilize my experience helps me claim that authority every time I have a conversation, every time I tell people what it is that I do, every time I interact with others. It is so important that everyone makes sure that they back themselves up with these credentials. Credentials are important. I'm not saying that you have to go to get a 4-year degree or 2-year degree, what have you, but have something to back up what you are talking about, what you are creating. Because
right.
unfortunately, in this world, that helps quite a bit. And if you do not have it, you're in for a lot more rejections than you would have otherwise. Because those that have wealth, those that have wealth of some sort, whether it's monetarily or just experience wise, they want to see the next generations, they want to see your credentials. So if you don't have those, you need to find a way to go out and get them, whether it's a certificate, whether it's 1,000 reviews saying this person is amazing at XYZ and this is why you should work with them. Or, for instance, if you're a chef and people say that they love your food, whatever it is, have that backing before you go in and say that you want to change the world with your idea.
Right.
Because otherwise, you might be in for a world of hurt that you just are not prepared for, or you just don't want coming your way.
Mhm. Yeah, pretty much. I was just thinking, when did you become a best-selling author? I totally didn't realize that.
Yes, that's the first chat that we had. That was when I had become a best-selling author. So it was just a few months ago, and
Okay.
Hard copies should be arriving in about a few weeks, hopefully. And I am very, very excited. Limited editions. Reach out to me if you would like one. But it's something that I had to do. It is something that changed my life, and it changed my life. Why? Because I became more confident, and I realized that I had something worthy of sharing with the world, and it was worth listening to.
Right.
And that's exactly the point. I was able to gain the confidence that I did not have previously. And now I had all the same credentials, I had all the experience, and I had all the know how, but I did not have the confidence. And suddenly, when this book started to come to fruition, people started to reach out to me and ask me, hey, what is it that you do? That is phenomenal. Oh my gosh, I heard your podcast, or oh my gosh, I read that segment of the book, and oh wow, can we chat? That turned my life around because it enhanced and enforced exactly what I've been saying for years. And suddenly other people were buying into it. So that's exactly why I say credentials are so important, because if you believe in your idea and you can get other people to believe in your idea, ooh, the world is your oyster, and it's truly your blank canvas on which you can create just about anything. So if you want a dream life, if you want your dream life, turn it into reality. Find a plan, make the plan, execute it, see what can happen. I am living proof that it can happen, and you can live the life that you've been dreaming of. So
Right.
absolutely, absolutely.
And just to quote Eminem, just to get this out of my system, welcome to reality. Yup, there go gravity. Sorry, I had to.
No, absolutely. I think it's really important, right? All of these people that Rhino has mentioned today, they all went through the path of rejection. They all had an idea that people thought was ludicrous, right? When it comes to PCs, when it comes to the internet, when it comes to the light bulb, all of these things were considered ludicrous at one point. And yet today they are very much a part of our normal everyday lives. So if they can do it, and granted, these are very cisgendered males, Caucasian males, but if they have the idea, I guarantee it, the rest of the world has, every single person has an idea sitting inside of them waiting to bloom.
Right.
So go ahead and water it and make it happen.
Cool. Yeah, pretty much. It's all going up from here. You just have to put in the time, the effort, the energy into whatever it is you want to do.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think, Rhino, you are on the right path, and you're going to create some amazing things. And I'm sure that I speak on behalf of the audience, but good luck and stick to it.
Thank you. And I guess with that, we'll end it here.
Sounds like a plan, but thank you all for being here with us today. I hope you got some nuggets of wisdom, and stay tuned for more.
Of course. If you're, like I said before, if you're on YouTube, all the links to everyone's social media, mine, Empowers, the Bats, the Hackers, everyone will be in the description box down below. If you're listening to wherever audio or podcasts are sold, my personal Instagram is FireHawkArcher1. You can also find me on my other two YouTube channels. Again, links in the description box below on FireHawkArcher1 and 2. You can find the Bat, aka Victor, on Cool Victor 77. You can find Pranav, aka the Hacker, on Precurse 77 or whatever his Instagram is. You can find us on the podcast on Instagram at Rhino and the Bat Podcast, as well as on Facebook on our fan page. Empower, where can people find you?
Yes, thank you, audience. If you're looking for me and all my positivity, you can find me on Instagram at empoweru_agency. Again, that's at empoweru_agency. You can find me on Facebook at Sneha Gandhi White, or on LinkedIn at Sneha Gandhi. And I look forward to connecting. Thanks so much.
Thank you, guys. Also, just one last thing. I want to give a special shout out to Sparsa. Sparsa, it has been a long-time sponsor of this channel, as well as my own personal channels. I actually use it, and we'll put that here at the end here. Again, thank you guys. Have a good one. As always, see you in the next episode.
Peace.
What's up, guys? Just want to make this quick pre-advertisement show. Like always, Smart Soap is our sponsor today, and you can see their ad here. Thank you, Smart Soap, for sponsoring this video. Much appreciated to you guys. As always, links in the description box down below. Please check them out. They do support the show, but don't worry, no added cost to you guys. They are a soap company. Shocker. And they basically help guys like me who are both martial artists and lifters to basically keep clean. Obviously, if you're a martial artist, you don't know who has what. You're sweating everywhere. Same thing with lifting too. You don't know who, like, which sweaty person touched what, and yeah, it keeps you safe. It keeps you clean, and it keeps you safe from ringworm and like other stuff that could actually be, number one, contagious. Number two, be very harmful for you and other people. So just stay safe. And like I said, it's a great soap company. I actually personally use this, so I can actually tell from experience that, hey, this is something that you should definitely check out. But as always, thank you for listening, and here is your podcast.